Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Vanah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namah. Shanti Mantra. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshushrotramato Balamindriyani cha sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakurya Mama Brahma Nirakarod Anirakaranamastva Nirakaranam me astu Tadatmani Niradeya Upanishatsu Dharmaha Te mai santu Te mai santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are on page number 8. Passage number 12. सत्य कामोह जाबाल है जबालाम मातरम आमंत्रयान चक्रे ब्रह्मचर्यम भवते विवत्स्यामि किं गोत्रो नु अहमस्मीति. Thus we saw the story as to how this young boy Satyakama approaches his mother and says, "Oh mother, I want to go to the teacher to study the Vedas, and for that I should initiate it, and for being initiated I should know what the gotra, what the lineage is. So mother, please tell me what is my gotra, what is my lineage." Mother said, "My boy, I do not know what your lineage is." "How come you don't know?" "Because I never had a chance to know." "How come you did not have a chance to know?" "Because I got you when I was young. At that time, I was very busy in the house of my husband, your father, and traveling with him in various places, constantly occupied with serving the guests and visitors, and therefore my mind was totally preoccupied with service, because that was my nature. Also, being young also, I was very shy, and therefore I could never directly talk even to your father. At the same time, the question of asking this gotra or the lineage never arose. All right, maybe you could have asked when you grew up. Yes, but then your father left me when I was young. All right, so you did not ask the father, ask somebody, but I was left all alone, desolate. I had nobody with me. And thus mother described the conditions as to how she had no opportunity to know the gotra or the lineage of this boy. Mother, then what should I do? The teacher will ask me, what is your gotra? Well, go and say, just look, your name is Satyakama, my name is Jabala. So say that I am Satyakama Jabala. Go and say that. So the boy goes to the teacher and requests the teacher that I come here for studying the Vedas. Please initiate me into the Vedic studies. Sure, what's your gotra? So when I asked my mother what my gotra is, and this is what he just verbatim repeated everything that the mother has said, which is not something glorifying. I mean, it's something that one would hesitate to say, that not only I do not know what my gotra lineage is, even my mother did not know. But he just said that. And the teacher, Gautama, Haridratama, was highly impressed that none other than a Brahmana can say this. Meaning that it shows. So, na etad abrahmana vivaktum arhate. A Brahmana, one is not a Brahmana by birth, by nature, of course. What is important is to be Brahmana by nature. But then it was presumed that one who is born as Brahmana also possesses the nature of Brahmana. It is true that ideally it is disposition, nature, that should determine what the caste or varna of a person is. But then what the nature or disposition is very subjective. There is no way that we can measure or determine the disposition of a person, from the outer appearance. And this is the case with all subjective things. Who is qualified to enter medical school? Really, one who has the right potential qualifications. But it's a subjective thing. So we have to discover or arrive at an objective criterion that will closely represent the subjective qualification, you follow. So marks appear for a given test. And the kind of scores that you have in the test, it then become the criterion for admission to, say, medical school. Now there is a rule that just because the person scores well, that is necessarily most qualified as a doctor. Because, of course, scoring the marks means he's an intelligent person, but then you need other things also than intelligent to be a doctor, to be an engineer, to be X, Y, Z. But then how do you measure those things? Therefore, this is what we do, that we determine an objective criterion which hopefully reveals the subjective disposition or subjective competence or qualification of a person. Similarly also Brahmana, Kshatriya, all of these are really dispositions. Everybody accepts. Guna karma vibhagashaha. Lord Krishna says that these four castes are created for allotment of duties based on their disposition, which determines their competence and aptitude. But then, the birth is the closest objective criterion to determine the disposition. Understand? It is presumed that a birth takes place because of law of karma. That a person is born somewhere, not by accident, it is for a reason. The karma that this person must have performed in the previous lives, then they result into the birth in a given place. Therefore, a person is born in the right atmosphere, that's where the karma brings the person. Therefore, it is most likely that a person born in a Brahmana family is most likely to have the Brahmana's disposition, because that is where the karma would bring him. And that is how the jati or birth was ultimately determined to be the criterion for determining even the disposition. And therefore, the caste, meaning the varna is really disposition of mind, not the color of the skin. Color of the mind, because the disposition of colors. Sattva is white color, and then Rajas is red color, and Tamas is black color. So a combination of these three will give a color to the mind. That's called varna. Varna means color. And that means disposition. And then birth is the closest criterion. Of course, this is highly criticized and condemned. Anything can be, because you always see some kind of agenda that to exclude some people, this is done, and so on and so forth. It may very well, in course of time, anything can happen. But all I am saying is, how come birth was considered the criterion to determine the caste? Is only that is the nearest objective criterion we have. And therefore, Gotra really determines where the person is born. And therefore, where he is born also, in a way reveals what his disposition is, what his caste is. That is why Gotra. So, what is the Gotra mean? In which family are you born? If you are born in a Brahmana family, then you have Brahmana disposition, then you qualify. Because study always requires a qualification. How come everybody doesn't study everything? That's not so. They ask, why do you say that only this fellows, why not Shudra? You don't admit everybody to every school. Why don't you admit everybody in medical school and engineering school, IITs, IIMs? You don't do that. You don't give job to everybody, You accounting job, you require a qualified accountant and salesman and marketing, and you don't put anybody anywhere. That's all caste system, by the way. This is all distribution of duties according to their competence. That is the way to do things. Except that nowadays you have these degrees, and therefore if you account it, but then also is the closest criterion. Just because the person has an accounting degree is not a guarantee that he is a good accountant. But then what else can you say? This is the closest criterion that we have to determine, and then you give him a job. So this is just for your understanding, because a lot of criticism is there for the caste system. And all people see an agenda in there. This is all arrived at to exclude some people. They say this Varna color is the color of skin. The Aryans had a fair color of skin and Dravidians had a dark color. So these were all to exclude, After all, your figment of imagination can come up with all kinds of things. And so this system is highly maligned. And I have nothing to do about defending anything. I'm just telling you what the criterion is. So therefore, the Guru here is sage Gautama Haridritama. Want to determine where is he born, what is his Gotra. And when the boy repeated, then he says, nobody than a Brahman. I mean, a simple person alone can just reveal without hesitation. Because he doesn't think what the consequences are. What he's saying, he doesn't, he doesn't look at the consequence of what he's saying. How will my mother look when I say this? He just says what is truth. And that shows his simplicity, his lack of any distortion in the mind. And so that mind, so this is the mind that you require for study, any kind of knowledge. Not even Veda, but basically for any kind of knowledge we require a sattvic mind really. The reason why they prescribe Upanishatsu dharmas te mai santu, these various virtues that are described in Upanishad, may I possess those virtues, there is nothing but arriving at a sattvic mind. The Shama, Dama, Uparama, Shama, tranquility of mind, so that is free from Rajas and Tamas. Dama means self-control, shows his discipline, his alertness, his self-control. Uparama, he has an abiding mind. Titiksha, he has the power to forbear. So we cultivate these qualities. When we cultivate these qualities, the mind progressively becomes sattvic mind. That alone is called antahaka shuddhi. So purity of the mind means the sattvicness of the mind. So even if you do not insist upon a caste and stuff like that as far as the Vedantic study is concerned, for that also all kinds of restrictions are there, but we haven't followed them. Everybody is welcome. Man and woman, good, bad, everybody is welcome. Except that everybody should strive to become, not in one day. Perhaps when we go to this thing, nobody is qualified really. See, Samadhi, Shatka Sambhati and all of that, everybody has it. Everybody has tranquility of mind, everybody has self-control, everybody has forbearance in one measure or the other, no doubt about that. But not in the measure that we require. And so we do cultivate deliberately. And therefore values are taught, amanitvam, adambhitvam, you teach them values, teach them his qualifications. All of this is to prepare the mind. It is true that we will not wait for the mind to become sattvic and then start studying Vedanta. You start it anyway. And along with that also, you strive to purify the mind. So, in this purification of mind, that is where we require various things, meaning that it is by grace of Ishvara that the ragadveshas can be removed. We require grace of Ishvara for purification of mind. That's where prayer comes. Basically, we need prayer because we need grace of Ishvara. And prayer can be performed, so prayer has to have a certain form. There's the pujas and all sorts of things are nothing but the ways of performing prayer. Then there is a choice. Every culture is its own way of doing things. So as far as what you do for purification of mind is your choice. You may choose pranayama, etc. That also is okay. Choose puja, etc. Your choice. Recital, chanting, and all kinds of things are there. And different traditions may have different, means. So until you gain that sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, and I don't know how many lifetimes it is going to require to do that. Don't think it is simple. Swami used to tell us a story of that Greek philosopher who must have been a businessman and who relocated into another island for developing his business. And he must be living alone in that island until his business, developed to a certain point. Then he decided to call his family also to join him. And his family, all along with all his belongings and everything, they were all traveling in a big ship. And he was expecting their arrival any day. And one afternoon there was a knock on the door with all, expectation. He opened the door, and yes, he did find a messenger who was to have brought the news about the ship. So what's the news? That fellow was breathless. Sir, your ship has sunk. What? Yes, sir, your ship has sunk. So what? But sir, all your wealth is gone. You are a pauper. What? You are a pauper. So what? Sir, your wife and children, all of them are drowned. You are desolate. What? You are. So what? So, when this fellow says what? It is not that he has not heard. He doesn't believe that. He does not want to accept the reality. The denials. No, it can't be. No, it can't be. But he being what he was, a mature person, soon he realized that this is something I cannot control. God gave me serenity to accept gracefully what I cannot control. So what means? Okay, I gracefully accept what I cannot control. So Swami used to say for this man, the time gap between what? Means non-acceptance, and so what? Graceful acceptance was maybe a minute. For somebody it can be a year, a lifetime, or several lifetimes also. So from what? We have to come to so what? What is resisting? What does not suit me, I resist, I reject, I react, revolt. In course of time, I work on that. And that graceful acceptance of reality. That I'm in tune with the realities of life. Because you have to learn what is Vedanta. Vedanta addresses the realities of life. Vedanta teaches us what are the realities of life. What's the reality of myself? What's the reality of the world? What's the reality of Ishvara? That's what Vedanta teaches. That's the concern of Vedanta. All this is all part, is ultimately for that purpose only. And in order for us to gain the knowledge of the reality of life, we should be at least willing to gracefully accept the reality. If you reject the reality, how are you going to learn what it is? Basically, to gain knowledge of anything, you require to tune up with that. In fact, you require grace of that. When knowledge takes place, when Newton in his mind flashed this law of gravity as a result of a lot of contemplation, whether he gained the knowledge or knowledge came to him, it's hard to say, is it not so? When you're trying to solve a problem and you're working on it very hard, all of a sudden the solution comes in your mind. Oh, I got it. You think you got it. Maybe you got it when it came to you. You can look at it either way, is it not? There are two ways. Graceful way is that it came to me. If it came to me, that means that thing revealed itself to me, then only I knew. It revealed itself means that it favored me. It is by His favor of grace that I knew, is it not so? Certainly my effort is there, but this ultimately is the grace of that which determines that I know. So if you want to know Ishvara, you require Ishvara's grace, would you not? Or call it Atma, whatever you call it. Meaning that we always require grace. Nobody can claim that I know without, grace of Brahman. Astityovalabdasya tattvabhava prasidati. Upanishad says that when you accept Brahman, the is, then Brahman I am prasidati becomes favorable to me. Yame vaisha vrunate tena labhya tasyaisha atma vrunate tanum swa. Again Upanishad says that it's a partnership. It's not only grace, because grace cannot work without my effort. When a farmer tills his land, that is his effort, then he requires rain, which is grace. But rain without the effort is no use, and his effort without rain also is of no use. So self-effort, of course, is required. Yame vaisha vrunate tena labhya. Upanishad says that this Atma labhya is attained by whom? Yame vaisha vrunate, who chooses the Atma. For whom there is nothing but Atma. That's all he wants. Tasyaisha Atma vrunate tanum swam. To a seeker like that, Atma reveals its true nature. So, tas Atma vivrunate swam. Atma reveals itself to this one. So when you know, it's a combination of two things, your effort, at the same time, the grace of what it is that you want to know. So when the people work for years together in research, it is seeking grace of that, tuning up with that thing. That's called upasana. No knowledge takes place. Research takes a long time. What is it? Maintaining a flow of mind constantly about that thing, is it not so? When does knowledge take place? Not overnight. Swami flash is okay. But then, it is a result of a long effort of maintaining that thought, and when the right conditions are created, then you think the knowledge flashes. True. That you got the grace, but is a result of all this effort. Swami, moksha is grace, what is it? Just takes place. Well, just as knowledge takes place, moksha takes place. Knowledge takes place, I would say it's a process, as a result of which knowledge takes place. What the process is, that you are striving to know, and you apply proper means of knowledge. Depending on what you want to know, your experiment, your investigation will be appropriate to that. But as a result of that, it takes place. So when it takes place, it flashes into your mind. It's just instantaneous. It may appear instantaneous when it takes place, the result of all this effort. So no doubt, pursuit of knowledge is our primary goal. But for that we need the grace of what it is that we want to know, including Atma, self. Endeavor, grace means His favor. That's why prayer comes in. Prayer is always in place, always required, and everybody requires it. Nobody can escape it. And so prayer can take any form that you like. It's puja, panchayatana, whatever you like. It's up to you. Prayer is just praying, Ishvara. And for that you may adopt a certain means which suits you. And different people employ. There is no rule about how to pray. There is no rule about in what manner I should pray. So many manners are given to you, choose. If you don't like it, do your own. But prayer must be there. Meaning that it is important to acquire the grace of Ishvara, if you want to call it, Atma, if you want to call it. And that's where qualification comes in, by the way. Preparation for knowledge is part of my effort. that when I want to go to PhD, I prepare for a master's degree, for that I prepare a bachelor's degree, for that I have the high school degree, and for that I have a middle school degree, and for that I have a primary school degree, and for that I have the preschool stuff. At every stage I qualify for the next stage. So why do they, people are, why do you have to have these fellows only? Why don't you give knowledge to everybody? Open it for everybody. You people are all, you are restricting and you are excluding people by not sharing this knowledge with others. Maybe. But as I said, for every knowledge, preparation is required. So that is what the teacher wanted, nothing more than that. And discovered that this boy must be a Brahmin boy, as we discussed yesterday. Somya ahara upatvaneshe na satyat agahayati. I certainly initiate you because you did not swerve from truth. So this is one of the qualifications. Truthfulness. If you adopt any one thing, everything else will come along with it. A bed with 4 legs, you pull one, other 3 also come along with it. Is it not so? So pick up any one value. Satyam, truth, others have to come. So you can hear truth is a value. Satyakama. So when one value is, others are always automatically there. You can't be a truthful person and a violent person. I don't think it's possible. Or a truthful person and a dishonest person. It cannot be. All of them will come together. And so that way the teacher determined the qualification of this young boy, the student, initiated him. And the footnote here says the Upanishad doesn't talk much in detail. He initiated him. So here we are told that the Upanayana initiation is 2 kinds. One is initiating in the Vedic study, as a boy is initiated with Gayatri Mantra and he starts the Vedas. Second is initiation in Brahma Vidya, which is what the teacher does when there is Vividisha Sannyasa, So Vividisha Sannyasa, what is Vividisha? Vedutam Ichcha, the desire to know. So Sannyasa given to someone who has a keen desire to know, to fulfill that desire. So then there is a second level of initiation, which is the initiation for Brahma Vidya or for the knowledge of Brahman. So we presume that Satyakama was given both the kinds of initiation. So we presume here that first his boy Satyakama was initiated in Vedic studies, that he learned all the Vedas, and then so Adhyanam Chakarayitva, make him study all the Vedas. Then teacher wants to impart him the knowledge. But he says before the knowledge of the scriptures can be imparted, Shuddha Antahkaranam. So Shuddha Antahkaranam, the purification of mind is required. So Satyakama is of course a truthful person, all right, but still requires preparation of Shama, Dama, etc. Arjuna also was a truthful person, straightforward person, dharmic person, but still he required, Ragadveshas are there, Chanchalami Manah Krishna, my mind is restless, so that is required. So here we believe from what happened subsequently, here we presume that the Guru must have thought that this boy requires to do something for Antahkarana Shuddhi, for purification of mind. He requires Karma Yoga. And he requires, let us say, so Upasana you want to call it, or Guru Shushusha. This boy requires the Guru Shushusha, meaning the serving the teacher. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So seva means service to the teacher, or guru shushrusha, serving the teacher. Idante na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana nacha shushrushavevacham nachamam yobhya suyate. After completing the teaching of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, "Here Arjuna," now Lord Krishna instructs Arjuna in the process of passing on this knowledge. He wants that this knowledge, of course, should spread. And that was the reason for, of course, Arjuna's own, well-being was important. But through him also, the knowledge should spread. Idantena tapaskaya, may you not impart this knowledge to the one who doesn't have tapasya or penance in his life or austerities. Na bhaktaya, may you not impart this knowledge to the one who is not a bhakta or a devotee of the Lord. Because he wants to know the Lord, he must be a devotee of Lord also. Nacha shushrushavevachyam, also you should not be imparted to one who does not serve the teacher. Shushrusha means shrotumicha, one who wants to listen, and also one who is ready to serve the teacher. So Guru Shushrusha, serving the teacher, is one of the things that is a means of Antahagana Shuddhi. How does the purification of mind take place? Because looks like the gurus are perpetuating, when these things come, always suspicion comes. Why all the time you say Guru, Guru, Guru? And who says? Guru says that. That's the problem. That means you are perpetuating Gurudam, they say. Gurudam. Gurudam. So is it perpetuating the place of Guru that they will always receive service and they'll be comfortable, they'll be taken care of? And so introduce that kind of a thing. So that for lifetime we are. So lifetime benefit. Is there some agenda in saying Guru Shushrusha? No. Shushrusha means seva. And as I said, those days seva means seva. Physical seva. These days you don't need that, but those days there was nobody. I described earlier, how the disciple has to serve the teacher. He goes to sleep after the teacher and he wakes up before the teacher and prepare everything. And teachers may have their own idiosyncrasies, Yeah. And though somebody wants hot water, cold water, this water, that water, this kind of... all these little idiosyncrasies and preferences are there, and you have to watch out what the teacher likes. Why did this Raikva got angry? Why did he reject his gift? If you ask question. Just so that the disciple knows what exactly he wants, he has to tune up with the teacher. Raikva doesn't have any need for any cows and stuff like that, but he wants that this Jnana Shruti, the disciple, should exactly be in tune with the teacher, should know exactly what the teacher is and what he wants. So that tuning up is required, then alone the passing of the knowledge will become effective. So when you serve the teacher personally, hands-on, then you have to really, this old man, he doesn't like this, he likes that, he wants it. So everything you have to know. Not only know, but then you have to eat what he eats, because that's whatever he gives you, that's what. So whether you like it or not, whether you want to wake up early or not, whether you want to do things or not, if you suppose takes cold water bath, of course you can't take warm water bath. If you observe fast on this day, you can't eat. And they are all old people, and they mean, so they don't need me. So, but then this young man, so that's how you shape up. That's how the identification with the Guru, the tuning, and you automatically imbibe the qualities of Guru. The Guru is a kind, compassionate person, you automatically imbibe those qualities. Not only his idiosyncrasies only, but his virtues is what you imbibe. We don't have to imitate the Guru in terms of the way he dresses and talks and walks, no. but his virtues. And when you're close, then you know what. You see, it's one thing to know that I should be but what is compassion? Compassion is a word, but you see how Guru in fact conducts himself, then what compassion means, so you have a demonstration of meaning of the word compassion. So if you want to be compassionate, you do what the Guru does. That is how the Shishya learns and grows. So in that sense, Guru Shushrusha or serving the teacher becomes the process of learning and growing. If you are available, if you keep, why should I do that? If you keep on resisting and complaining, it's a different thing. Because Gurus may have their own idiosyncrasies, I do not know. Our Gurus don't have, thank God, but they could have. Our Gurus have been very, too simple and I guess too accommodative and okay. So we are spoiled. But everywhere it is not all like that. Take it back. I don't know. What have you brought today? So you may be hurt, things may happen to you. And still you have to keep, your feelings and reactions within yourself and learn to swallow the unpleasant things. And so gurus have all kinds of stories are there. But anyway, so here the teacher believes that this boy still needs to grow. In the words of Pujya Swamiji, emotional maturity, antahkana shuddhi, purification of mind, before he can be imparted knowledge of Brahman. So Guru Shushrusha Shuddhantah Karanaya, for Satyakama to gain antahkana shuddhi, purification of mind. You know what Guru says to him? Having done this, Krishanam Avalanam Chatushataha Gaha Nirakritya Uvacha. I guess the Guru must have a huge, cow shed, thousands of cows. So what Guru did was, from all those cows, the 4 weakest cows, Krishana, 400 cows, who were very weak, who were emaciated, those cows were selected for this boy. So Nirakritya, meaning what? He separated all these 400 cows from the rest of them. Hey Somya, so my dear, Imaha anusamvrajayati, may you follow these cows, mean go with the cows. Taha Abhiprasthapan uvacha. That's all the teacher said. So you know what Satyakama said? Yes, sir. And I will not return here unless the cows are 1,000 in number. So those cows are all very krusha, means emaciated. So they must also first become healthy, and then they multiply, and then up to 1,000. I will not return until this herd adds up to 1,000. So this is what he understood, this is what he is committed to his Guru. So Varshaganam Provasa, so he went to forest. Thrunodaka Bahulam Dvandvarahitam Aranyam Pravesh. He must have gone to a forest where there was plenty of grass and water and the minimum of the troubles there. He went to a forest like that with all the cows. And Varshaganam Provasa lived there for a long time in exile. So he's separated from Guru, from everybody. Went to the forest all by himself with the cows. Tahayada sahasram sampeduhu. Then when these cows multiplied 1,000, who can count all that stuff? Anyway. Then one bull addressed Satyakama. Now see how the grace comes. How Guru's grace comes. He is away. This fellow is here. But then still, This is Guru Shushusha. In way, he is only serving cows. But in that process, he served the teacher. And therefore, he became the beneficiary of grace of the teacher and grace of the devatas. So then, devatas became pleased with him and they came to Satyakama in different guise and gave him the Upadesha. So there is a story. That actually Guru does not directly give him the knowledge, but different devatas were pleased by his, and understand that while he is tending the cows, all his daily duties he would perform. A brahmachari is supposed to perform the daily duties in the samidadhana, meaning that you perform that little homa where sami is offered, and then of course his sandhya vandanam, his gayatri japa, and all other austerities are taken for granted, along with serving the cows. And the cows actually, then he must have taken good care of the cows, he must be very kind to the cows, then only they became healthy and then they multiplied. So that shows his care and kindness towards the cows, and also his commitment to his daily duties and worship. And when the cows multiplied 1,000, then Athayanam Rushabha Abhivadaha, when bull addressed him. Now this is funny, Here he gets knowledge from strange animals. A bull, can you imagine? A bull called, he says, Satyakama. Just looks. Oh, a bull is calling him, Bhagavad, yes sir. Idhi pratishushrawa. Satyakama replied, yes sir. Praptaha Somya Sahasram Smaha. Hey Somya, my dear, we have now grown to the size 1,000. Prapayana Acharya Kulam, please lead us now to the Guru Kulam, to the Guru, please lead us back. Tametam Shraddha Tapobhyam Siddham. So now Satyakama is Siddha Purusha Siddha Tapobhyam. So two qualities that we see in Satyakama here is number one, Shraddha in the Guru. So Guru asked him to take care of this cow. That's all. That's a word. Nothing. Well, but then what? Then what do I? What am I going to do? How to do that? Then how will I come back? When will I come back? Today 1,500 questions will be asked, before a simple thing is done. No question at all. I'm not suggesting we do it. I'm just describing what was done then, So that's if we do. I'm not prescribing anything. I'm only relating what it is. So Shraddha Tapobhyam. Show Shraddha or the implicit trust in the word of the teacher. Then when teacher says it must be all right. Just as Jana Shruti has Shraddha in the Raikva, so also Satyakama has Shraddha in the Guru, says Gautama. So he says, okay. And Tapascharya, to live in forest is Tapascharya. Swami says living in Rishikesh is Tapascharya, is penance. Because every season is a trying season. So much wind and rain and high. And afternoon gets so hot. Morning they are cool and people get sick. Because the three seasons in one day. Morning they are like winter and then they're so hot and in the evening it will start raining and stuff like that. So imagine living in forest. Here of course we have all very comfortable rooms. In forest you don't have anything. So living that long is not just a few days, not only 10 days or something. Here we count days now all night. So how many days are there? So okay, when is my book dedicated? I confirm it, reconfirm everything. And Swami, you are leaving. Oh, thank you. How long can you stay here? But this fellow, for years together, he lived in forest. Not counting days or anything like that. And so two things are very evident. Shraddha Tapobhyam. So we see in Satyakama, these two Shraddha And tapas means penance or austerity. Siddham. So he has now grown. Siddha means he has become accomplished person in terms of the qualification to receive the knowledge. Vayu Devata. Then Vayu Devata became pleased with him. One by one Devatas, because he has served all these Devatas. So he took the cows in all directions, and he served cows in all directions. There were the directions of all that Devatas became pleased with him. So Vayu, the air which moves in all directions, also represents the Dik Devatas. That Vayu, the wind god, appeared before this Satyakama in the form of a bull and addressed him. So Rishabham Anupravishya. So Vayu Devata entered this bull and Anugrahaya. For what? For showering grace upon Satyakama. And he himself said, Hey Satyakama, Tamasu Bhagavaha, yes sir. Somya, we are 1000. Lead us back to the Gurukulam. Brahmanasche taye padam bravani, and I am going to now give you instruction about the 1/4 of Brahman. So as I said the other day, this one is an upasana again on Ishvara. But the Upanishadic time, the meditation of Ishvara was with reference to the creation is manifestation of Ishvara. And thus you see a certain order, harmony in the creation. As you said, just as our body has many limbs and organs, but there is one self informing them. So also there are many kinds of harmonies. So when we are shown a harmony, then we can contemplate upon that. So here Brahman or this Ishvara, that is the cosmic person that is manifest before us, Ishvara manifests as universe. You can call it the cosmic person. He is to be meditated upon. How can you meditate on the whole cosmos? Difficult. So you give a certain pattern. That this cosmic person or Virat is made up of 16 digits, 6 Shodasha Kalaha Purushaha. This is an expression with which the people of Vedanta may be familiar. Shodasha Kalaha Purushaha. Purusha, the Paramatma, who is made up of 16 digits. Moon. Moon is also Shodasha Kalaha. 16 digits. Today is the Panchami, so 5 digits. Yesterday was Chaturthi, 4 digits. Before the 3, 2, 1. When it the full moon, then how many digits? 15. And new moon is 16th. So that way, moon is said to have 16 digits, 16 kala. Shuvasha kalaha. Thus, moon is complete having these 16 digits, 16 avayavas, 16 kalas. So, Purusha also means complete. Purna is made up of these 16 parts, you can say. So, here is meditation upon Purusha or Paramatma or Ishvara, who is manifest as his cosmic cosmos or as cosmic person. You imagine that he is made up of 16 parts. So what are those parts? This Vayu Devata. So he gives instruction to Satyakama about the 4 quarters. So 4 digits he teaches them. Prachi Dikkala, Pratichi Dikkala, Dakshina Dikkala, Udichi Dikkala. Here Satyakama, each direction is one part, one kala. And then the north is another one. And then south is another one. West is another one. These 4 directions are the 4 kala or 4 parts. Okay? So it's called Prakash, and there is a name for this Brahman having these 4 parts called, so Brahma Prakashavan, its name is Prakashavan, possessed of effulgence, radiant, This is the radiant manifestation of Brahman. And then he said, Agnishte Padam Vakta. Now, hey Satyakama, the fire god will be your next teacher. The wind god was the first teacher, and wind it spreads in all directions, wind. Therefore, he is the devata of directions, and therefore he instructed Satyakama in the 4 parts consisting of 4 directions. Now, next instruction will be given by Agni, fire god. So, next day, the Upanishad describes. So, next day again, at dawn, early morning, Satyakama woke up, did all his morning chores, and then led the cows towards the Gurukulam. Now they are returning. Came the evening. So he settled down where all the cows, gathered. And then he set up his little fire. He performed that evening ritual and sat down facing east direction, closed his eyes and started meditating. And then Agnihi Abhyavada, Agni Devata appeared before him. Hey Satyakama, yes sir. Hey Soumya, O good looking one, my dear, I will now instruct you into the other 4 quarters of, or other 4, 1 quarter or 4 digits of Brahman. Kindly, revered sir, may kindly tell me. He said, I don't know to hear, then he will not. So when he said, hey Satyakama, yes sir, I will now tell you about the another quarter of Brahman consisting of 4 parts. Thank you, I don't know to hear. Then Agni cannot say, yes sir, please tell me. And so then Agni says, Prithvi Kala, Dyauhu Kala, Samudra Kala, what is it? Antariksham Kala. The 4 words, Prithvi, Antariksha, Dyauhu, Samudra means water, which is called the Prithvi. So you see, Agni is the presiding deity of the earth. That's why Agni is associated with the earth or the world. So he gave the instruction for the 4 worlds, which are the 4 parts of the second quarter. Anantavan Nama, that's all infinite, that's the next one. Then Agni departed and saying this, Hamsaste Padam Vaktayati, Hey Satyakama, tomorrow Hamsa will come. Hamsa means what? A swan will come. There is going to be Aditya. In Kathopanishad there is a mantra. Hamsa, Hamsa. So that is a description of Aditya, of the sun. Because sun also moves in the sky and Hamsa also moves in the sky, etc. And so a swan came, meaning the Aditya Devata came in the form of swan. Next day again, then, so he will come to you. Next, the same thing. He woke up early in the morning, did his earning, then he drove the cows towards the Gurukulam. The evening came, he settled down, performed his evening prayers, and facing his direction, sat down, facing his direction, closed his eyes, meditating. At that time, Hamsa Upanipatya, a swan came flying to him. Abhyavad, Hey Satyakama. Yes, sir. Says, now I will tell you the 3rd quarter about Brahman. Yes, sir. Bravitu me Bhagavan. The revered sir, may please tell me. Agnihi Kala, Surya Kala, Chandra Kala, Vidyut Kala. So Aditya is the devata of light. So he gives instruction of 4 light because he is presiding deity of light. So he says, Agnihi, Surya, Chandra, Vidyut means lightning. So that is the effulgent part, quarter of Brahman. Okay, so that is done. Madguste padam, he departed and said, tomorrow another bird, Madguhu. This is a diver bird. It's some kind of an aquatic bird, like a crow, I think. So I don't know. Madguhu. Huh? Kingfisher? How do you know Madguhu? You know this word or what? There are so many birds, in the sea. This particular kind of bird. That's what it is. It's an aquatic bird. They call it diver bird. Yeah. I guess it must be diving and catching something. So that came flying and addressed him. So next evening, same way, he's sitting with his prayer, and that time this bird comes flying to him, addresses him, and says, okay, I'll give you the instruction for another quarter. Prana, so that is one. Who is that? That is the prana. So prana is connected with water. See, water is the life of life. Because of water, the prana is sustained, therefore, the prana took this life, they formed a water bird or an aquatic bird. And says prana kala, chakshuhu kala, shrotram kala, manah kala, prana, chakshuhu, shrotram, manah. That's the other four parts of the fourth quarter. So in this way, the instruction about the Shodash Kalaha. Shodash Kalaha Purusha, this was given to Satyakama, and he must have meditated upon that, realized that, and he returns to his teacher. And when dialogue takes place there, an important dialogue, we'll talk about it in next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.